Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. 1 over kx equals to x over 116 positive 1 over k. In the equation above, k is a constant. If the equation has one solution, what is the value of k? The question says k is a constant, then we have to assume x is a variable in this equation, and solution of this equation gives the value for x. Okay, now let's take the equation as it is. That is 1 over k times x equals to x over 116 positive 1 over k. Now let's do some simplification in this equation. For that, we have to get rid of all the three denominators we have over here. When I consider the denominators, I find k over here in this denominator, and also I find x over here, and I find 116. I have to multiply both sides of this equation by 116 times k times x to get rid of all the three denominators. Okay, now let me multiply both sides by 116 times k times x. Let me multiply on the left side first, times 1 over kx. On the right side, 116 times k times x multiplied by x over 116 positive 1 over k. Here this kx and kx will cancel out. 116 times 1 is 116. Okay, now we can distribute this one to this and this, then we get 116 kx times x over 116 positive 116 times k times x times 1 over k. Here this 116 will cancel out, this k will cancel out. We get 116 equals to kx times x will become kx square positive. When I multiply this one by 1, I am getting 116x. Let me subtract 116 from both sides of this equation. When I do so, this positive value, negative value will cancel out. I'm getting 0 on the left side. On the right side, we have kx square positive 116x and negative 116. Or we can write the same equation as kx square positive 116x and negative 116 equals to 0. I am taking this 0 on the right side. Here we have the quadratic equation in standard form. Usually the standard form of a quadratic equation can be written as ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. And the maximum number of solutions of a quadratic equation is 2. And when we have a quadratic equation standard form like this one, and this equation has only one solution, then the value of the discriminant b square negative 4ac must be equal to 0. Since the given equation has one solution, the value of the discriminant for this quadratic equation also must be 0, because we got this quadratic equation from the given equation. Okay, now let's get this stuff for the given quadratic equation. Now to get the value of b, we have to consider the coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is 116. Let's plug in this value for b over here. Then we get 116 square negative 4 times. To get the value of a, we have to consider the coefficient of x square. Here the coefficient of x square is k. That is 4 times k times to get the value of c, we have to consider the constant, that is negative 116. It must be equal to 0 because this quadratic equation has one solution. Now we have to solve for k in this equation. The value of 116 square is 13,456. And when we multiply this negative and negative, it will become positive. When I multiply this 4k and 116, I am getting 464k equals to 0. Now let me subtract 13,456 from both sides of this equation. When I do so, this positive value, negative value will cancel out. I am getting 464 times k equals to negative 13,456. Okay, now we can divide both sides of this equation by 464. Then this one will cancel out, and we get k on the left side. On the right side, we have negative. When I divide this value by 464, I'm getting 29. Here I got the value of k, that is negative 29.